All right, going live. I think we're live and all set. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you are joining, I was working on my 2023 goals and kind of reflecting on 2022. And reflecting on 2022 was on one of my tasks. So I figured, why not just create a live stream to take care of that and also get some content and some engagement. So I'm going to do this very similar to last year, where I kind of go over the 2021 goals that I've set for myself in Notion and just kind of see if I was able to hit it or miss it in that case. Um, and that's pretty much it. It's kind of, this is probably more of like a diary or blog for myself, just to kind of see how I progress each year, and I can reflect and look at it in that way. So, um, just want to start off probably by just saying happy holidays to everyone tuning in. I know it's the holiday season, so hope you guys are having a good new year. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Okay, so I'm gonna share my Notion, um, one of my favorite tools. If you guys have never used it, I enjoy using this for everything personal and professional. And one of the things I like most about it is actually charting out all the different goals that I want to hit for a given year. I did this for 2021 for the first time, and then this is my second time using 2022. And so I want to share, before I get too deep into this, the 2021. Where did it go? I think it's under bucket list. Yeah. Um, Kind of the structure and format of this. And Tony's tuning in. Happy holidays, Tony, to you and your family. Um, so the goals, the way I structure my goals nowadays is kind of around this concept that I heard back on a podcast that you can kind of see here. It's around the four components of an ideal life by Samantha Ryan, when she or Nabal was interviewed on a podcast, and I actually found that through Ali Abdal's YouTube video. So basically, there's four components. First of which is physical health, then mental health, and then relationships, and then the last one being like finance, which kind of gets lumped in with like career and things like that. So that's how I kind of go through my goals each year, especially planning for next year. Is what are the different things I want to accomplish in each one? And I think a theme here that I always notice is that mostly it's my career, finance, and side hustles that usually has the most thought out and planned, and then everything else kind of takes a hit, unfortunately. So physical health, mental health, and relationships. But that was my 2021 goals, which I made a video about last year. I'm going to jump to my 2022 goals, and just, I haven't actually looked at this since I wrote it at either the end of 2021 or the beginning of 2022. Um, so I'm kind of curious if I was able to hit these or not. So let's go down them. So for 2022, there is the career and finance one. The very first one I have here is learn to code. I don't remember what this Coursera course was about, but I think I've come a long way in terms of what I wanted to accomplish in terms of coding. So I've taken multiple Coursera courses now. I've done, I think, three different Coursera courses for Python. I've read an entire book about SQL, kind of like an intro beginners one. And then most recently, I took a uh, course from Stanford called Data Science for Medicine, where I learned a lot about R. Between those three things, I probably, I would say I hit this goal. So I could probably cross that out. There's definitely way more I can do, but for the most part, this is pretty good. So I think this is straight through. Okay, let's do that. Let's go to the next one. Familiarize myself with biomedical informatics and interoperability initiatives. I don't remember what this was about. I think that at the time, this was probably written when I was in the midst of my job search. And this is always good practical information to folks who are on the job hunt, is like learning more about the industry, what's the most pertinent trends, what's going on. So when you are speaking, with your potential interviewers, they see that you are knowledgeable on whatever topic and field you're interviewing for. So I think that's what this is, especially given this, like kind of figuring out where we're headed with HL7, HL7 fire, all that kind of stuff. Um, I don't think I actually hit this because I don't recall diving too deep into this. So I'm gonna say I failed on this one, which is fine. You set goals in an effort to achieve them, and it's expected that you might not hit all of them. But the next one is learn more about fire. So I did a decent amount here. Looks like the task I had planned was this one, which I didn't get to, so I failed on this one. But I did get to two different ones that was quite nice. So first thing was I completed a HO7 fundamentals course, which was really nice. This included V2, V3, there was CDA, and then there was also like a intro to fire. That was like a 10-week course from HO7. Highly, highly recommended for anyone who's interested in breaking into more of the biomedical informatics or tech space. It was very helpful. And especially if you have worked in the hospital setting. So that's really good. The other one here is I completed HL7 Fire Fundamentals, which I couldn't recommend enough. And this went through a lot of different things and really helped me understand what fire was about. The last one is probably just practical hands-on experience from work. And I spend a bulk of my time working in fire in my current role. So I've received a lot of fire experience from that. So I think this one can probably say was accomplished. I just cross it out for this. Let me change this to a toggle so it's easier. There it is. So this one's accomplished. This is good. Decode 32. So this was something I already know that this is going to be a fail, unfortunately. Decode 32 was a project that I had envisioned in terms of hoping to provide a hands-on experience for students. I think one of the struggles when it comes to teaching students or clinicians to get into these tech roles is that there's a lack of hands-on experience for students to partake in. And unfortunately, or not unfortunately, what I was trying to do with Decode 32 was to work with different organizations and employers to teach, or not teach, to connect students with those employers for some type of hands-on experience and really guide the students through it. I did launch a whole entire web page on this. I contacted people. I am currently working with students to like come up with ideas and stuff, but it really never manifested into what I was hoping to accomplish. Um, Something that I'll probably work on in 2023. Quite unfortunate, but it was probably a larger undertaking than I had imagined. So I'm gonna say failed on this one. Let me turn this one into a bullet. All right. And thank you guys, anyone who's tuning in. I'm actually on multiple social media platforms right now, including Instagram. Um, Happy holidays to everyone that's joining in. And if you guys want to share your goals for 2023 and how your 2022 goals have been going, definitely let me know in the comments below. All right, the next one is the Pharmacy Informatics Influencer Program. So I was really excited about this, especially coming off of the highs from the LinkedIn Creator Accelerator Program. The whole idea behind this was to create basically the same exact experience I've had in the LinkedIn program, except for pharmacy students or maybe even pharmacy residents or just pharmacists who are interested in pharmacy informatics. And it's to basically pay them to create content to teach others about pharmacy informatics. And I was really excited about this because I think it doesn't, how best to describe this, it was a way to incentivize more content creation around pharmacy informatics. And I was going to pay, just like the LinkedIn Creator Program, the individuals that was going to partake in it. I was going to use part of this program, which was Decode 32, to teach students how to like create these programs or experiences. And one of those programs was going to be this pharmacy informatics influencer program where I would mentor the students. The students would then also gain experience in creating this program, which is the pharmacy informatics influencer program. And then the individuals that partake in that program, I would pay them just for creating content. So that was the whole idea behind it. Unfortunately, it didn't take off. I think the goal was originally in summer, and it didn't pan out. The we had a couple meetings on it, but unfortunately, this didn't work out. But new goal for 2023. Okay, so the next one is some of the courses. Looks like one was optimizing the course. So I already have a course, selfish plug, about teaching individuals to navigate the health tech market. It's primarily targeted towards clinicians. I see Andrew's in the chat here. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Andrew. Thanks for tuning in. Um, this I never really got to. Actually, no, I know I've tweaked it as the time went on. So throughout the year, the goal has always been to add to this course to make the content clearer, more summarized, and things like that. I've added different resources to it as I learn more about different tips and tricks that I think are very practical in navigating the health tech market. The next one was creating a new course. I think this is going to be big in 2023, and I'll maybe talk about this later on. Is basically I have a lot of ideas on different projects that I would like to invest in and create content for going into 2023. And interoperability is a big theme. I think that's one of the skills that are very helpful for clinicians that want to get into tech, and just in general. So I will be working on this. Unfortunately, I didn't get to it in 2023 or 2022. So probably say failed on that one. The next one, let's see, is a newsletter and email list. So I think this has always been on my mind for the longest time. And I know a lot of my friends out there have their own newsletters and email lists, because this is something that you actually own versus like building a following on a social media platform, for example. I did create a newsletter. I never created any. Uh, Actually, you know what? LinkedIn newsletters on this. I actually did accomplish this one. So I created a LinkedIn newsletter. I think there's like 3K subscribers or something on it, and it's doing decently well. And I've been more or less consistent with it, publishing usually one article a month. So that one's pretty good. I did want to create my own email list as well, which that's something that I didn't get to, which is okay. I think this is more or less a pretty good win within the LinkedIn newsletter, just trying to provide more practical advice to others. Okay, the next one, create an intake form for media and related work. So this one was kind of trying to figure out a way to centralize all the questions and comments I would get, and if there is a way to better address them in a timely manner. I think people who message me might get frustrated at times because I'm just not able to respond in a timely manner, which I feel really bad for. And one of the goals of this was trying to figure out a way to make that process easier. I did end up creating, I'm going to mark this as a success because I did end up doing this. I created different like intake forms where people can fill out, and it would direct them to the right resources or schedule meetings with me or things like that. But I ended up taking it all down, and basically creating an FAQ for it, which if you have not seen, selfish plug, go to my website, briankfung.com, under the FAQ section. I try to create new questions that are commonly asked by folks and then add it here so you can just go there and look it up, kind of like self-service, so you can get your answers in a more timely manner. So I'll say this one's a success because I think it's done decently well. Okay, so that's all the career and finance goals that I had for 2022. Let me move on to travel and experiences. I think a lot of the ones here I I took from 2021 because I wasn't able to accomplish them. But there were some new ones here that I definitely added. So if you open the international one, uh, I have not traveled internet. Actually, I mean, I have not made a large international trip in quite some time. The last big one I had was in 2018, so this is always on my list. But I did make a couple of smaller ones. So Banff has been on my list for like 3 years. I finally got a chance to go there back in summer, I think it was September or somewhere in summer. I don't remember, but that was a great experience. If you've never been to Banff, it highly recommend. Um, Scandinavia, never been to still. I did get to go to Toronto and visit my friend Michael. I actually went to Toronto, I think, 3 times this year. Once for my cousin's wedding. Second was for just random trip, and then I don't remember what the third one was for. Yeah, but it was fun. So I did do that. Didn't do any of these other ones, and I think that's it. The main places I visited this year was Canada, which is super great. So those are my international trips. Domestic, I did. Was this year? Oh no, this was definitely not this year. This was definitely from 2021. I think in 2021. Oh wow, this is all stuff that from 20. I need to clean this up. I never got a chance to do my 2021 trips. So none of these happened. This is all the trips I took in 2021, which was super awesome. Close all these. I did visit a decent amount of places in. I just saw Johnny's message saying it was. Um, Johnny is on my list. I'm gonna add that. What is visit Johnny in Tampa. Yeah, Tampa in here. I'll be visiting 2020 in 2023 Tampa quite a bit. So, uh, oh yes, February we're gonna hit up our mutual friend Jasmine. Probably see you at the wedding, hopefully in February. Okay, cool. We're playing that out for February. I think let's close all of this because this is a lot. Thanks Andrew for the compliment on the mic. It's just it's a gaming mic for Razer. If you're curious, it's bought it way back when I used to play a lot of games. This was new on my list that was very exciting. Was visiting all the Google offices, which I visited. I think 6. I'm about to hit my 7th soon. So I visited. There's one in DC. There's DC on New York Ave. There's one in Reston, Virginia. There's 4 in Toronto. I only ended up visiting 2 of them. I visited the one in Kirkland, Washington. There was another one in Boston. Yeah, and then I will be going to Dallas for 2023. Dallas, when I visit my friend Layla. So these are all good. I think for the most part, there's no way I can visit all the offices. I think there's like 100 plus, maybe more offices all over the world. So I don't think I was planning on visiting all of them, but as much as I can. So I'll say this one's complete for the most part. National parks was kind of a disappointment. I did have a lot of trips I had planned. California was a big one, and then just visiting Washington for a couple of other ones. Um, I didn't get to them. I ended up always canceling these trips because of work, and I think that was unfortunately a big theme this year. I took a pretty big hit in terms of just relationships, mental health, physical health, and just doing a lot of these travel and experiences because I was so busy once I started my new job back in April of this year. So a lot of these ended up getting canceled. But I did visit Banff, which was great. Okay, moving on. Physical health. 225 bench, by the way. Fun fact, this has been on my list of to-dos since high school. I've never hit 225. The closest I got was 205, which was in college. This unfortunately is a fail. I think I maybe got to the gym once a month if I was lucky. And again, it goes back to the problem of uh, Johnny joined in. Johnny, have you hit that goal? Is that your goal too? 225 is sick. That's two plates, by the way. And I've always wanted to hit two plates. But it's hard. I feel like you have to diet, gym, and run to hit that. So that didn't happen. So let's close this. Okay, move next one. Sleep. This was unfortunately a fail as well. Oh yeah, I wrote this failed because I got an Apple Watch, I think 2021, and I just monitor my sleep 24/7. It's about 6 to 6.5 hours of sleep a day, so not great. And I know that I'm always tired because of this reason. This definitely did not hit. I didn't. I stopped going to the gym and I stopped running, so I didn't hit this one unfortunately. I don't know if I can end up doing a half marathon. I feel like that'd be pretty hard. 8 glasses of water a day. I think I got like 75% of this over the course of a year. I tried to keep on top of this because you got to drink water. 8 glasses of water a day, very important. Oh man, look at that. Johnny, for anyone who's on IG, Johnny was saying his goal is 315 and passed it. 315 is high. Is that like is that three plates? 225, 45, 90. Yeah, that's like three plates. Oh wow. It's been a while since I've seen Johnny. 315, weigh 201, and work out 6 days a week. When I hit the 205 goal, I was 165. Um, which I feel like 315. 315 is sick. That's pretty sick. I'm jealous, man. I will make this a goal. I'm gonna definitely hit 225 because inspiration, man. I'll take that inspiration from you to hit that. Um, good on you though, man. That's awesome. That I feel like after college, it's really hard to hit these kind of physical health kind of goals. So it's good. Got to keep on that. Next one is mental health, happiness, and well-being. There's another Johnny. This one's on Facebook. Johnny says bachata is easy to learn. I beg to differ, man. I have like two left feet because when I do bachata, it's not pretty, not pretty at all. But I really wanted to. So DC, if you didn't know, if you're in the Latin dancing scene, DC is one of the major hubs for good Latin dancing. So I wanted to um, brush up on bachata and really learn beyond the basics, which I never really got to. So we're gonna say failed on this one, unfortunately. Steezy is like this online platform that you have great choreographers teach you step by step how to do different dances. And I had it in 2020, I think it was, and I learned a couple dances from there. But I wanted to get back on that because dancing is one of those things that make me happy, and I just never find the time to do it, unfortunately. But I ended up not doing any dances at all this year. Daily meditation is a huge fail. I think I maybe did it 5 times throughout the course of the year. I would really like to get back into this. I think this was one of the key themes of 2020 that kept me sane, and definitely something I would like to do more of. Oh crap! There's a lot of other folks. What did you say? Salsa. No, salsa I can't do, man. I have two left feet. I wish I could though. Salsa is awesome, especially back in South Florida. That was very nice. Oh, they all know each other. We got High in the house, Fazo. What is Fazo saying? Since when do you? I did Latin dancing back in South Florida, man. I feel like all of us did to some degree. Going to the clubs in South Florida, everyone does a little bit of Latin dancing. Um, Johnny on Facebook says a drink goes a long way. Yep, it does. Yes, it does. But it doesn't look good. You want to look good when you do it. Get two tattoos. So these two tattoos was on my list in 2021, and these tattoos have been on my list for I think probably over 10 years. Um, if anyone's ever curious, I don't remember if I ever mentioned it. There's two tattoos I've always wanted to get, but it's one of those things where you don't want to get it and regret it later. So I've always taken extra time to think, is this actually something I want? And the two tattoos I've always wanted to get is one across my heart, which is primum non nocere. I'm probably butchering the word. It's Latin for first do no harm, to just kind of remind myself on what my action should be driven by. And the second one is a tattoo of my grandma's name on my back, both of which I've never gotten. Maybe I'm fine with that. Maybe I'll end up just never end up getting it. But I think at some point it would be nice to eventually get those two tattoos. The family documentary was something I wanted to work on. I don't know if I would have actually had time for it this year, given the new job I took. But it's I saw a video which I wish I had a link to that had it was a daughter that interviewed her family, the dad, the mom, the sister, and really asked very deep questions, especially in Asian culture where you're a little bit more reserved. And these questions really opened up different stories about emotions and how they all felt about each other. And I thought that was really nice. And I think as we age and as we get older, having these kind of memories, very raw memories, is really nice. And I want to do that for my own family, um, just kind of reflecting, having that memento for later on. What is this? What's Fazil saying over here? Says, I was watching. Johnny, you want to get a tattoo? What kind of tattoo you want to get, Johnny? If there's one I recommend, it would probably be like getting a 315 across the arm or something like that. Um, Fazil says, when I wanted a tribal armband tattoo. I don't remember saying that. That's pretty cringe, though. Um, yeah, that must have been back in high school or college or something like that. Okay, so this failed, but I can guarantee that this is going to be on my list at some point in the next 1 or 2 years. I'll definitely get this done. Okay, we're coming to the end of this, and it's already 30 minutes, so I probably need to wrap up. The last part is the relationships. The very first one is maintain existing relationships. I did have a plan every single week that was blocked out on my calendar to hang out with friends, to block off time to whether call, to message, or something like that. I think this ended up being 20. No, it wasn't even 20. It was maybe like 10% of the time that it worked out. So I think I failed this one pretty bad. Again, it comes down to the job. The job I severely underestimated in terms of how much time and effort I would need to spend on it, and so this didn't really happen. But definitely something I'm going to work on in 2023 and do a better job at. Visiting family at least twice a year. So this one's definitely a success. I was able to visit my family more than twice a year. I think it was like 4 or 5 times this year, and I'm gonna go again in just a few days. So that was a very nice win, and this is probably really, really, really good for the most part. So I'm happy with that. Let me turn this one into a toggle and close this. The last one here is start a gratitude journal. So I did start this, which let's see here. Here it is. So I started it back. It's one of those things when you make New Year resolutions and you start it for the first month and you stop it. So you can see I did start it here, and it looks like it got up to the almost the end of January, which then I stopped. I think part of what made this difficult was that it becomes redundant, unfortunately. I think the better way of using these journals, I heard from someone else, is like instead of writing it down, just send someone a message. And I tried to do that a little bit more. When someone does something nice for you and you feel appreciated, just send them a thank you, like a nice thank you, something like that. I think that goes a long way versus just writing it down into a journal. But I didn't get that done, so I'm gonna say fail for this one. I think that is it. I am now gonna start spending the next probably 1 or 2 hours coming up with what I want to accomplish in 2023. I'm really excited for what's to come because I think that there are going to be some interesting projects that I'm going to tackle in 2023, and hopefully have more time to visit friends and family, visit Johnny, which I feel like every time I go back to Tampa, I try to visit Johnny, and I always end up having something that comes up. So Johnny, 2023, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna hit up Tampa. We're gonna go hit 315 on the bench and hit those goals. Let's see what else is on here. What are y'all saying on IG? You guys got a whole chat going on. Be kind. You always got to be kind, man. All right, guys. Make it weekly. What did Johnny say? On Facebook, maybe instead of daily, make it weekly. Oh, you're talking about the gratitude journals? Yeah, just any type of gratitude or gratitude in general is important. Just makes the other person feel appreciated, feel good, and then also internally, I'm sure makes yourself feel good as well. There's a lot of Johnnies, by the way. I'm talking to a Johnny on Facebook, and then there's another Johnny on IG. So there's multiple Johnnies going in the chats. All right, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me rant about my 2022 goals. I'm thankful for everyone that's here and tuned in. Happy holidays to all of you. Hope you guys have a great, happy new year. And I hope I'm going to get to see you guys in 2023. All right, guys. Talk to you guys next time. Bye.